This is a story of love gone wrong and a gruesome murder shared for the world to see. Social media gets a nasty shock when grisly photos of 17-year-old Instagram star Bianca Devins are posted by her own boyfriend. I'm Carlos Greer, and this is the New York Post Reports Off the Record. On Saturday, July 13th, 2019, Bianca Devins and 21-year-old Brandon Clark attend a concert where they get into a fight over Bianca kissing another man. As they drive home early Sunday morning, Brandon pulls over to the side of the road in Utica. He slits Bianca's throat and then posts photos of her bleeding out to Instagram at 6:40 a.m. with the caption, "I'm sorry, Bianca." He then changes his bio to reflect his plans for suicide before calling the cops, threatening to harm himself. A police officer finds him on the ground next to his black SUV with the scrawled message written in spray paint, "May you never forget me." The officer attempts to de-escalate the situation, but Brandon pulls out a knife, slits his own throat, and posts a photo of his neck gushing blood. While the officer waits for backup, Brandon continues to take selfies with Bianca's lifeless body. When help arrives, Brandon's rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery.
My editor sent me a link saying, hey, this really gruesome thing happened on social media, but was this a bizarre staging of some kind of drama or some form of trying to get attention on social media? So basically we had to hold off on publishing the story until we really were sure that what was going on wasn't some kind of hoax.
It definitely is not a hoax. On Monday, Brandon's Instagram account is disabled, removing the photos.
I didn't see the photos of her throat slit. I saw some images that he had posted before and after, but at the point when we started covering the story, Instagram had taken them down.
As a reporter, there is a fine line between censorship and protecting the public from graphic imagery. It's a conversation that we have here at the New York Post, especially with a case like this.
I knew we wouldn't run that picture because it was just too grisly.
The photos themselves were not the most important part of the story. We at the New York Post wanted to know who could commit such unspeakable acts, and why would they share them with the world in such a public way?
It was a matter of poking around on Instagram to see what we could find out about Brandon Clark, and then also digging around and finding out who was Bianca Devins and what was their relationship.
Bianca was a talented artist, aspiring model, and e-girl, which is a distinct style persona inspired by the emo counterculture of the 1990s. Bianca engaged a large social media following across multiple platforms. Friends and family describe her as supportive, kind, and had a smile that could light up any room. Bianca recently graduated high school and was looking forward to studying psychology at a local community college in the fall. Not much is known about Brandon. His Instagram account mostly featured posts about metal music and photos of him working out. Because the case is still active, details about how Bianca and Brandon met are murky, but investigators did reveal that the two knew each other on a personal level and had been dating for over 2 months.
At that point, the police officer said that their theory was that he got jealous at a concert that they were at in Queens because she kissed another guy, and that led to an argument, which then led to him killing her.
Allegedly, Brandon and Bianca met up with another guy at the concert, and Brandon witnessed the two of them holding hands and kissing at the show. But despite being angry, Brandon was Bianca's ride home, and they still left the concert together.
The thing that really makes this one unique and disturbing is the element of social media, the sensational chronicling of such an awful thing and how many eyes were on it. It's a terrible tragedy no matter what, but that's really what makes this case so different.
There's so much to unpack with this case. Like, what might have driven Brandon to do such a horrible thing? And what compelled him to post the photos for the world to see? All right, welcome back. I have Dr. Louis Schlesinger, a professor from the John Jay College of Criminal Justice, here with me. Dr. Schlesinger, I cannot wait to dive into this case. One thing that stood out to me and that's unique about this case is that he posted the gruesome photo on social media for the entire world to see. Is this a cry for infamy? Is it a cry for attention?
could be all that. It could be a cry for attention. It could be a cry for infamy. It could also be a reflection of how people use their phones. People are going out and taking pictures of themselves doing everything and posting absolutely everything.
Again, he posted her photo, her dead body, on Instagram for the world to see, and it was flagged and, of course, removed, but people still wanted to see it.
Sure.
What does that mean, that people searched for this photo?
Yeah, well, it's human nature. Why do people rubberneck at a horrible accident scene? They want to see it. People are very, very attracted to these types of horrible things.
But do you think people are desensitized by murders like this when it is told through Instagram?
That's a great question. I mean, I'm sure we are desensitized because we hear about murder all the time. We see it on TV, we read about it. How you undo something like that? I think one way is to just present it in a professional way so that people can learn about it and understand this type of human behavior rather than in a sensational way where the gore and all this other stuff is emphasized.
Well, Bianca, she was very popular on social media. She posted all the time and had a fan base. Do you think Brandon posting these photos on social media, did he do this as a way to punish her?
It's certainly possible. The interesting aspect of this case is not so much what happened after the murder, but the murder itself. What caused the murder? Why would he kill her in the way he did? There's a certain type of murder where an individual becomes obsessed with the future victim, and they come to believe that the solution to their problem is to kill the future victim. And then when he does kill the person, there is some feeling of relief or discharge afterwards. The other possibility for this case is he became extremely angry and extremely jealous because she was with another guy and killed her because he was angry and didn't get what he wanted.
All right, so Bianca, she allegedly kissed a guy, and that's what set Brandon off. How does it get to that point where he kills her, posts her lifeless body on Instagram, and then tries to kill himself and calls 911?
Well, that's an interesting aspect of this case as well, because it's a murder-suicide, but the suicide didn't happen yet. And when the police arrived, that's when he stabbed himself in the neck. That tells me he wanted the police or EMT folks to make sure that he, in fact, didn't die. After you kill someone the way he did, with multiple stab wounds with a knife, that type of emotion is discharged. The more stab wounds, the greater the likelihood that the emotion is discharged, and the less the likelihood that the offender turns the knife on themselves. You always hear a guy kills his wife and then kills himself. What you'll find is if he shoots her once, he'll turn the gun on himself. He unloads the gun on her, he usually doesn't kill himself because the emotion is discharged through the murder.
Well, as always, Dr. Schlesinger, thank you for sitting with me. For certain, I appreciate your insight. The story can help us reflect on the impact of social media and how it highlights the best and worst of society. At the very least, hopefully this case will start a dialogue about sharing gruesome imagery and whether there's a line to be drawn. I'm Carlos Greer, and this is the New York Post Reports, Off the Record.